We now like to invite Mr. H.K. Raghu, Senior Professor, Rolling Stock, IRITM, Lucknow, to join us and to tell us more about sustainability of urban transport in India. Let us look forward to this very interesting standalone session. May I request all of you to please put your hands together for Sir as he steps forward. A round of applause from our kind audience, please. Thank you.
नमस्कार। एक बहुत लंबा सेशन जिसमें बहुत सारा गहन चर्चा हुई, अध्ययन हुआ, समझने की कोशिश की गई कि डिजिटाइजेशन कैसे मेट्रो को बढ़िया कर सकता है। अभी आज की डेट में तो डिजिटाइजेशन जो है ये आपकी नेसेसिटी हो गया है। इट इज़ नॉट दैट कि हमें उसको क्या फ़ायदा करना है, क्या फ़ायदा नहीं करना है। It becomes necessity and nobody can remain without it. I, being part of metro systems as a regulator for about 5 years while working in RDSO, I personally feel that metro is the only system which is to be used as a sustainable system for public transport. There are questions that it is not financially viable. We are making our DPRs in which we try to show it financially viable. But whatever DPR we are making, and finally when metro runs, and during the review meetings with MDs, I happens to have in some of the meetings, and it was to my surprise that even Delhi Metro, whatever they are calculating, is running at 35% of the capacity what was projected. Though we think that Delhi Metro is the most overloaded metro, but it is also running at 35 km. So there must be something else which we have to look, and that is very interesting, which I am going to share. Early in the morning, I was taken to a surprise that our technical secretary to UP government, technical advisor to UP government, is saying that जो हमारा एक्सप्रेस हाईवे है उसके अलोंग RRTS चलाने के लिए, ठीक है। तो आई एम टोटली अगेंस्ट द एक्सप्रेस हाईवेज एंड एनी काइंड ऑफ रोड फॉर पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. इफ पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज टू बी डन, it is to be done only with the metro. Let us see. And let us see together whether it is convincing or not convincing. The topic is sustainable public transport metro light. This is the normal picture we see in lean season. जब lean time रहता है तो ऐसे दिखता है ना metro, आराम से आप जाते हैं उसमें. I am H.K. Raghu, joined as Senior Professor, Rolling Stock, IRITM, Lucknow on 28th June. And suddenly got developed my interest in teaching to the young people that why they should prefer the metro. Basically, coming to the selection of technology, how we select a particular technology is very important. So we look for a long-lasting technology. Whatever technology we will purchase, because we don't have our own technology, we have to purchase from some company. So it has to be long-lasting, at least for 25 to 30 years. Then it has to be energy efficient and effective. It should be self-reliant, means once we purchase the technology from somebody, we should know take the know-how also through TOT so that we can maintain ourselves. Then comes, it should be eco-friendly. Then comes after eco-friendly, it should sustain itself. Once we sustain, means we think that it should sustain financially. And we do not calculate the cost of several other things which we are paying otherwise if metro is not there. Then the acceptability by a common person. We, all people who are sitting in this hall, are very learned person. But unfortunately, we must be about, say, 5 to 6% of total population. You are not catering to the need of 95% population. That is why you are looking for high-speed trains or some other lucrative things. Then coming to the cost effectiveness and low maintenance cost. Whatever rolling stock we purchase or whatever system we use, it should be something like maintenance free. Once we purchase it, जैसे इसका ऐड आता था ना किसी मोटरसाइकिल का, fill and forget, तो उसमें लीस्ट कॉस्ट होनी चाहिए हमारी. Then availability of fund and the political will, whether the funds are available and the political will is there or not. You see different modes of transportation for public transport, mobility in the city. Few other modes, again waterways and all that. We are getting now diverted to waterways also. I divide the total transportation, public transportation, surface transportation into two segments. Segment number one is road and rubber tire. It consists of road, asphalt or cement. Then two-wheeler, bicycles, motorbike, scooters, three-wheelers, auto rickshaws, battery rickshaw, e-rickshaw, four-wheeler, taxi, minibus, city bus, trucks. And now recently the electrical bus and trucks. आपने सुना होगा एक हाईवे बनने वाला है जिस पे इलेक्ट्रिकल ट्रक चलेंगे, सुना है? The second mode is railroad and the steel tire. Indian Railway, Metro Rail, Metro Light, or any kind of system which is running on track with a steel tire, it comes into this category. Then for freight operation, we are having dedicated freight corridor. Now comparing various modes of surface transport, if you can see the first row is basically the road occupied by the cyclist if 50 cyclists are going from one direction to other direction. Second row shows that if you are on a motorbike. Third row shows if you are in a bus, so all 50 people are coming in a bus. Then the last row shows when you are running your own vehicle. So 50 people go in about 35 vehicles on a road. Now comparing to the size of road, if about 50,000 people per hour are to be sent from one direction to other direction, you require about 175 meter wide road if you are using only car, and about 35 meter wide road if you are using the buses, public buses, and only 9 meter wide space if we are using the metros. And in this diagram you are seeing when we are going by the car, though purposely I have shown there is no tree, but actually if you are having 175 meter wide road, you will find no place for tree between two colonies. In the second, when you are using the buses, there are some amount of trees, means some greenery. And then when we go for the metro, sufficient ample space is available for greenery. Then number of vehicles on the road. Since 1940 to 2019 or so, the vehicle has gone like anything on the road. The first line, blue line, shows the buses and trucks. The green line shows the car, and the sum is shown in red color. So how we are increasing the number of vehicle on the road is quite clear. Now we are saying that we are running a green energy, or green truck, or green buses, or green transport. But really, whether we are green or not, basically till now we are concentrating on a pollution which is seen by the eyes. Whatever pollution you can see, you want to eliminate. Like Kejriwal, CM of Delhi, want to eliminate the smoke which is coming from Haryana or Punjab. ठीक है? इसी तरह आप दूसरे पे ब्लेम करते रहते हैं कि भाई धुआं है, धुआं आ रहा है तो पोल्यूशन है. तो whatever you can see, that is you can take the effort towards reducing it. But now coming to exhaust versus non-exhaust pollution. So this diagram shows you that when a car drives on the road, the 86% amount of pollution is created by a car which is non-exhaust. Means even if you go for e-drive or whatever drive you want, the non-exhaust pollution is going to be there till you are using a car. Car means road and rubber tire. And only 14% of the pollution is coming in the exhaust range, which you can counteract by designing your better engines. The environment hazards are there. By 2015, the global production of thermoplastic by which the tires are made is 322 million tons. And when we run on the road, the tire shadings are coming on the road and they are converting it to microplastics. And by 2010, about 12.7 million tons microplastics has gone into ocean. Pollution of the environment with plastic is recognized as a serious global threat. Tires are made of basically natural rubber, synthetic rubber, oil consumption. If you see the oil consumption, for making one car tire, we are consuming 7 gallons of crude oil. And for making one truck tire, we are consuming 22 gallons of crude oil. So that we are not seeing, we are seeing only the tire. Producing tire still has a monumental environmental impact, like deforestation, because you are cutting the rubber trees after it is giving the useful life. And then climatic harming fossil fuels used to make synthetic rubbers. Now you see this beautiful picture. It's a very beautiful picture. So like a necklace and a diamond necklace. But this is basically a picture taken from a satellite of a tire dump of Saudi Arabia. But if you go nearby, you will find the tire dumps are like this. And how you dispose the tire dumps? This is like this. And they are real picture. The story of rubber tire starts from 1839, when Charles Goodyear developed the process of making natural rubber more flexible, durable, that is vulcanization. So by vulcanizing rubber, we can make the rubber tires. In 1888, John Dunlop invented the pneumatic filled tire for cycle. And in 1911, Phillips Strauss invented the first successful car tire. Modern tires are made of synthetic rubber, wire, plastic, based fabric, and other materials. Now let us see the tire wear generation scale. This is year-wise the study done and the findings. In 2013, Stewart Manto, Canada, has done a study in which one truck tire generates nearly 2.5 pounds of microplastics in its service life of 6 years. In 2015, coal study was conducted and it has shown in the US alone itself, about 1.8 million tons of microplastics each year is generated. Once the tire particles have made into the river and ocean, they also affect the noticeable effect on the marine life. Then John Weston had done an experiment in the lab. He has taken a glass tub, in that he put the shrimps and then put the microplastics coming out of the tires. And it was observed that the shrimps are eating it along with the water, because they are very small particles and they are getting stuck in their gills. Either they die, and if they are not able to, they are not dying, and it goes into their stomach, it remains in their guts for very long, and then they die after some time. And what is the method of taking shrimps in your food? You just fry them and then take it. There is no much processing of shrimps. So whatever tire dump has gone into its guts, it will go in your guts. So you will get lot of problem. Now non-exhaust pollution. If you see the non-exhaust pollution is basically in 3 range. One is PM 2.5 particle, then second PM 2.5 to PM 10, then more than PM 10. So this graph shows basically tire wear, brake wear, and road wear. The maximum amount of pollution which is generated when the truck or car drives on the road, and road wear causes the suspension. So about 2.5 milligram per kilometer per vehicle tire wear is emission in the 2.5 PM. Estimated pollution, the wear and tear using the specific emission factor per vehicle kilometer method, taking into account all the 3 kind of roads, urban, rural, and highway roads. The capturing of wear and tear in pores of very open asphalt concrete. When the tire wears and tears, if your very open asphalt concrete roads are there, so some amount of thing will get trapped into those pores. And considering that also, the total generation is about 17,300 ton per year. If we take into consideration that about 95% is captured in a very open asphalt concrete, which are especially made roads, then about 8,900 tons microplastics goes into air, which is inhaled by the people. The average of estimated amount is 8,834 tons per year. The pollution cycle, when the tire runs on the road, it drops the particle in the air, some particle which are very light, less than 2.5 pm or 2.5 pm, they go into the air. Remaining tires wear remains in the road, and when the rain comes, this goes along with the water into your water treatment plants. And from water treatment plant also, PM 2.5 particle is not being extracted and it goes into river. Then some amount directly goes into river, and finally river goes into the ocean. In that way, if you see the distribution of microplastic, if we take the total microplastic generation is about 15,030 ton, then in the road asphalt, it remains about 8,768 ton, and 58% of tire wear remains on the road. Then in the air, it goes about 1,040 tons, that is about 7%. And water is taken to WTTP, is 1,337 ton, that is 9%. And then the water discharged from WTTP in the rivers is 523 tons, which contains microplastics, that is 3.5 metric ton. Through surface water directly into river, about 520 tons particles are going into river, that is 3.4 microton. And finally in the ocean, about 261 tons of particles are going, and you are consuming lot of seafoods. And they are delicacy of 5-star hotel like this in which we are here. So if somebody has taken prawns or some shrimps in the lunch, he can see that something has gone inside his stomach. Tire wear dust emission worldwide. If this study was done on 13 countries, and these 4 countries, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, are considered the greener countries, which creates less than 1% of total pollution worldwide in case of microplastics. Then coming next for Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, and Japan, their pollution level is about less than 5%. Now let us see what our beloved India is doing. The beloved India and Brazil are more than 5%, and they are in the range of 5.97 and 6%. And the worst polluter in the world, you can see China, USA, and Australia. Australia is the worst polluter. But most of us are sending our people, our kids to study in Australia, or they are going for, say, some services, either doctors or engineers, to go to Australia for getting better perks. But they are subjected to a worst polluted area. So total about 4,900,000 tons per year is generated, which is distributed in these 13 countries. Microplastic characteristic and generation scale. Less than 2.5 pm particles are remaining in the air for weeks and days together, and it can travel up to 1,000 kilometers. 50 to 80% particles are coming into PM10%, which are non-exhaust, which are not creating that much problem to the human being, because it can be filtered by mask which you are wearing. But if you are not wearing mask, even if you are wearing N95 mask, the particle 2.5 pm will go inside it, and it will affect you. The large variation is due to factors such as the degree of precipitation, and resuspension is less under wet condition. If the conditions are wet, then air suspension will be less. Suddenly, tire result into sustainable increase in non-exhaust PM10. Now see the health effect. Ultimately, the human and the ecosystem are affected with this. For human, the most relevant exposure route is inhalation. Marine and other aquatic organisms may also be exposed to tire wear and tear through ventilation, gills, and feedings. Many of the organisms like mussels and oysters are important seafoods. Human health is at risk. About 30.7% of death of India can be attributed to the air pollution. That means about 2.5 million people die every year for this, because of this pollution. And the global burden is about 4.2 million people. Death in India due to air pollution is increasing year by year, starting from 1990, that is 30.33 lakhs person per year to 16.67 lakh per year. Health effect of inhalation, we have already discussed, but it is only the repetition of the same thing. The stress, this stresses the urgency to identify those components which are affecting the health of human being. Health due to food exposure, again we have taken. Now we are coming to the mitigation measures. The moment we say somebody that tires are doing something wrong, the tire companies and the automobile companies come with the mitigation measures. They say we will recycle it. So they start recycling. The moment you permit by the law the recycling of any system which is creating pollution, the production will not stop. But you see from the figure, from 1990 to 2017, the production has shown to be reduced from 1,000 million tires to 60 million tires. And this is basically wrong reflection of the figures. Whatever, if the number of cars are increasing on the road, if the number of vehicles are increasing on the road, the tire has to be there. Only thing, production you have reduced, but simultaneously you have increased the retrading business. So retrading business is also increasing, and the retrading tires wears faster than the normal tire. So mitigation measures, what we have seen, the wear resistance tire. Now the tire production people will come to you that we are making a wear resistance tire. But there is in the mechanical engineering, if you see, there is a law of magic triangle. If you reduce the tire wear, then the slip resistance will increase. So finally you land up in unsafe vehicle. So that magic triangle can only be controlled, and some people will say, and then electrical cars are going to reduce. The electrical car are going to reduce only the pollution which is seen by you, and that is visible. Unless we are going for 100% nuclear power, and till we are dependent on the thermal power, we are not going to reduce the total pollution. Only thing, it is not happening in Delhi, it is not happening in Bombay, it is happening in Korba, or it is happening in something else. Just, it will take 5 more minutes, and because the message should go to the people. Then, electrical cars are creating this kind of dump. This is one of the dump created outside Delhi. And self-driving car can control the total tire wear. But again, the magic triangles affect the. Then if you are taking the sewerage water plant, and that much water you have to treat, then it will be very costly. So finally, if we see, the civil engineers will come, they will say, I will make a road which will wear your tire less. I will have the open asphalt tires. The pavement could be designed to reduce wear. Designing roads using very open asphalt could reduce the emission, which is more than PM10. So we conclude that tire is a sleepy source of microplastics. It can only be addressed effectively if awareness increases, knowledge gaps are being closed. This requires a global effort from the stakeholder, consumers and all that. Now see the budget allocation, how we are doing the budget allocation. The budget allocation for the health, for direct health, 86,200 crores has been given in the year 2022. And then National Health Mission, 37,000 crores. And finally, Pradhan Mantri Swasth Suraksha Yojana, 10,000 crores. And total it comes to 1,33,200 crores. And for road, we have given about 2,19,018 crores. And for railways, including RRTS and metros, we have given only 1,44,000 crores. So, what is proposed redistribution? As I propose that roads and tires are going to affect your health and the health burden also on the hospitals. So, let us see the road budgets and the health budget. If we total accumulate the reduction of 10% in the road budget, and you concentrate more not creating new roads, only the maintaining the existing roads, then 1% on health, then we get about 2,124 crores for the metro. So we can create one metro every year. Additional budget for IR and metro is available for 2,125 crores. And auto reduction, once we make the metro, just a minute. Once we make a metro, the health budget automatically reduces. The 1% we have already done in a positive manner, 1% in the first year. But if you introduce the metro, the number of tire will reduce, so the health burden will reduce. And in the second year, we will go for 2%, and finally, target is 5% reduction. But finally, if you see, about 30% of budget is going only in curing the diseases related to your airborne particles.
Mr. Raghu, we are
Similarly, on the road, in the first year, we have projected 10% reduction. In second year, 20%, and the target is to reduce 50%. Only keep the budget for maintaining the existing road.
Mr. Raghu, we are running out.
So, the colonial railway latest, what is the most pollution-free railways is the railway which was running in Germany, and this is the world's first passenger train provided by a hydrogen fuel cell, and the exhaust is simply water and steam. You can literally drink it. If you take the exhaust of this train and in the glass, you can drink it without any fear. This is clean energy, it's a combination of everything. Mobility strategy, one thing is quite clear, that rail transport is backbone of tomorrow's mobility. And the mobility strategy 225, we need to answer the sustainability and green mobility. Urgently need to be what? The unique responsibility lies on us, for which we need to ready to endorse the focus on the solution, whatever needed to save the earth. So this is basically, we have seen the means of transportation, we have seen the advantages. So green transport, metro is green transport, so therefore we decide go for metro. Thank you very much.